Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to all of you present here, joining us for another exciting webinar by STEMpedia. I hope you all are doing good. Good morning, Joshua. Hello, Ramesh sir. Hi, Nikita. I hope you all are very excited as we all are for this webinar. So this webinar is particularly on topic how we can nurture the future innovators with technology in our classroom. We will talk about school growth chronicles, how exactly one can implement these technological methodologies into our classroom. We have our expert speakers as well as our keynote speakers who have joined us today, and they will be sharing their expertise in the same. We will be starting our webinar in another 2 minutes. So I request all of you to share the webinar link with your fellow teachers and friends to join us live today. And I request all of you to please wait till the end of the session because by the end of the session, we have something exciting for you that will help you out in passing on the knowledge to your kids and prepare them for the upcoming latest tech. So I hope all of you are excited. Once again, welcome everyone. It's very exciting to see all of you being here despite the time limits. As of we have our expert speakers who also have joined us today, and they are also time bounded. Good morning. All right. I think it's a good time to start our webinar and to begin this exciting webinar in which our experts will be sharing their expertise on how to nurture the future innovators with technology in classroom. Once again, a heartfelt welcome to all of you. We appreciate your presence at today's eagerly awaited webinar. I am Vivek Verma from STEMpedia, today's host for this webinar. Today's webinar is about nurturing future innovator with technology in classroom and how school growth chronicles, and we will also talk about that, where we will listen to the top school voices from different countries. As I already mentioned, we have experts who have joined us today, and they will be sharing their expertise, their knowledge, their experience on how exactly they are nurturing the future innovators with the technology in their classroom. So today's webinar is centered around the fascinating theme of School Growth Chronicles. We will discuss about the evolution of technology from a time when success was attainable, even without it, the present, where technology plays a pivotal role. So our focus is to provide a clear understanding of how technology has become integral part to the growth narratives of educational institutions. That is what our main goal of this particular webinar will be. Throughout this session, we will share inspiring stories. We will hear inspiring stories and discuss challenges that were faced in the past or that are faced in the present. And we will explore the practical strategies for the seamless integration of technology into the classroom, which has become increasingly crucial in the modern educational landscape. So, moving ahead to the insightful part of the webinar, with that, I would just like to let you know that make sure that you follow us on our social media platform. You can scan the QR code and follow our social media platforms. And once again, as I request all of you, take a screenshot of any movement that you think should be shared among your particular channel or among your audience. You can take a screenshot of that learning, type in a very amazing LinkedIn post and post it on your LinkedIn or other social media platforms, and make sure to tag us and the experts who have joined us today. So I request all of you to take out a notebook and a pen because we will be learning a lot in this particular session. And I really would like you to all share that learnings on your social media platforms. So make sure you have your notepad and your pen ready with you. Moving ahead with to the insightful part of the webinar, introducing you all to our today's keynote speakers and guest speakers. We have Zara Amin Shelke, an experienced EdTech leader and founding head of innovation at Arcadia Global School. Passionately drives computing, STEAM, and innovation. With a strong background in leading the computing department, certifications, and awards, she exemplifies excellence, advocating for AI integration, online child safety, and stressing the importance of STEAM. Her impactful contribution extend to the professional development and contributions to learning sessions for educators. As a visionary leader, she has presented at major events, including the Igniting AI Innovation in Education Summit and Guest Dubai 2023, solidifying her commitment to advancing education through technology. We welcome you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you for the lovely introduction, Vivek. I will just share my screen now. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our session today. I will be speaking about how can we empower students to code for real-world impact. So, as Vivek has already introduced me, this is a little bit about me. I am the head of innovation and digital learning at Arcadia Global School. You can follow me on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn profile QR code, and this is the one that we are on Insta. If you can quickly screenshot it. Vivek has given us a strict timeline, 15 minutes only. All right, moving on. So what I will be covering today in our session is a little introduction, why coding, how can we implement it, and strategies for teachers, gamification, and we will have a Q&A session in the end. So this is a little snapshot of the Instagram page that I was talking about earlier and the things that we do. We are a brand new school in Dubai, and we have really gotten so well. We are doing lots of innovation things in school. So this is a little snapshot of what all we are coming up with. So let's begin. Why coding? So like I initially told in my introduction, like why? So before we, as educators, we need to know why is coding essential. So yes, if you can see, if it's a supercharging brain power, it's like a fun brain workout. It's also a logic. It gets our students to think creatively. It also asks, I mean, you can just give them real world examples, like for example, brushing your teeth. Yes, it eventually goes to what is an algorithm. You can also explain what is an algorithm and how step-by-step processes lead to something really amazing, to an amazing output. So you can link your coding or whatever you are teaching in your computing lessons or ICT lessons or computer science lessons, you can link them to real world objects. So that is when students get interested. Okay, so this is, they know that it's happening in their day-to-day lives. And mistakes are magic. In coding and robotics, mistakes help you learn faster. So each time something doesn't work, it's a clue to find a better solution. It's like students will eventually get there. And yes, mistakes will get them to improve on their solution. Again, we are going to be looking at the 21st century learning skills with coding. Now, strategies for teachers. I'm sure you are all following some amazing strategies, but here are a few examples of what and how can you include coding into your day-to-day school lessons. So project-based learning, I'm a big fan of it. It's an amazing idea that works wonders with kids. You give them a solution or give them a challenge and ask them to come up with different ideas and how it can really impact real world problems. You can also involve the SDG goals. That's an amazing thing that you can probably look at. Flipped classroom approach. If this is new, you can always go ahead and Google what it is. You can just ask your students to research or give them some online tutorials for self-paced learning. Ask them to come back with questions. Maybe they can have a PowerPoint presentation prepared regarding what they have learned. And you can also ask them to probably have different groups, each group having a different approach altogether, different tutorial. They come back and then they teach the entire the class. So again, your life as teacher gets simplified. Coding clubs and extracurricular activities. This is again, you can include for students who really wish to learn more and who are really interested in coding. You can have an extracurricular activity club or a coding club, robotics club, and probably get them to learn more about it. And also integrating coding across subjects. So this is where cross-curricular learning comes into picture. For example, if a student is learning about the life cycle of a butterfly in his or her science lesson, can you then help them create a code maybe in Scratch, in Pictoblocks, or whatever coding platform you're using? Can you try to integrate that learning, that science learning into your coding or into your computing lessons? Now, what happens here is the student then, yes, learning is taking place at a greater depth. You're also linking it to the other subjects. So that's when the students actually get thinking, okay, so this is what I can do with my coding, and this is what's really happening. It also gets them to get more interested in the subject. So again, let me just emphasize here that coding, yes, technology, but you're also going to give them real examples that look around you. Where do you all see that coding is being played or where coding is being helped? Yes. a few more strategies, interactive coding platforms. You have many platforms like Scratch, PictoBlocks, Code.org. You also have the Hour of Code that you can have during December that takes place. But then, yes, you can do Hour of Code any time of the year. You can have some challenges and competitions to get them excited about coding. Yes, they love to participate. They love to get certificates. So yes, organizing a competition again is a very good idea. Robotics and physical computing, peer learning and mentoring. So what is peer learning? Just to give you a little insight is, so when students, let's say for example, they have finished their coding, this is what I also do in my lessons, get them to give them, ask them to look at their partner's work. Okay, can you, and give them a little feedback. So what could your partner have done better, and what he or she has done better? So a WWW or a EBI. So WWW stands for what went well, and an EBI is even better if. So again, that comes to peer learning and reflection and portfolio building. So if you've not done this before in your classroom or in your school, maybe you can think of some place where you can start saving your students' work and then create like a digital portfolio. So this is like, my student was here at the beginning, he was at point 1, and now with the help of you and with the help of your school, the student has reached to point level 10. So that's how, and even you and the student can see his or her learning journey. So these are few strategies, and I'm sure you must be having, and I'm sure you might be doing many more strategies, but a little strategies just to get students more excited about coding. Yes, so this is a very important question. Why? So just you as an educator, we as teachers need to know, why are we teaching coding? And we need to know, we need to be convinced ourselves. Only then can we convince our students. We need to be excited as well. So yes, connect to real world challenges like I have been mentioning. Only if you make that connection with students, that why coding is important, why is it purposeful, because we are seeing it in our real world, only then can they get excited. Yeah, so teach coding as a tool to solve real world problems. I have mentioned about the SDG goals. Please Google about it, you have lots of information. And yes, empowering innovators, this is where our session is all about. We teach coding not just as a skill, but as a way to become a problem solver and an innovator. You will be amazed by the kind of ideas that students come up with. Just pose a challenge, say, we don't have a solution for this. What can we do better, or how can we make things better? So yes, the powerful trio is coding, AI, robotics. It's a catalyst for innovation. It's like I mentioned earlier, 21st century learning skills. They nurture critical thinkers and real world relevance. Why I have put AI over here is, yes, we as educators must be using AI, ChatGPT, to make your life simpler, at least to get ideas. I'm not saying that our whole life should be dependent on ChatGPT or other AI tools that you may be using, but get used to it for making things more easier for you as a teacher, because time management is very, very important for us. Another last bit, this is my last slide. It talks about gamification and how you can, again, it's a strategy that you can use in your class. You can use Kahoot, Nearpod, BlueKit, and there are so many other online platforms that provide gamification. It's like basically a quiz. You can also use it as an AFL strategy to understand. AFL, again, is assessment for learning, to understand and gauge how much your students have learned from your session. So this is an amazing tool. It again increases engagement, motivation boost, because it's like a gamified version of learning, and skill development through play. So that's about it. Question and answers. Any, Vivek, if any, please let me know. I will answer them. And I hope you've learned a thing or two. If not, please connect with me on my LinkedIn, and I'm sure I will be helping you with your question and answers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was actually very innovative. I have also jotted down few points that I will be, of course, using in my classroom. and when I will be teaching the latest technology or latest technological trends into my classroom. So yeah, thank you so much for this. As
Thank
of
you.
now, there are not many questions. A lot are saying that uh, being a teacher, this particular presentation was found to be very insightful. So these were a few comments for you. So
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for sharing your thoughtful comments and your expertise on this particular topic.
Okay, thank you, everyone, and take care.
Yeah. Moving next. So I hope my screen is visible. Yeah, perfect. So moving next, we have Miss Rania Obaid, who is a leading expert in STEM education, currently serving as a STEM director at MSc Smart Learning School in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. With her passion for nurturing talent and promoting STEM training, she plays a vital role in shaping education as a STEM trainer, advocate, and talent program trainer, where she helps educators and students to excel. Welcome, ma'am. Over to you.
Good morning, Vivek and everybody, and thank you for giving me this exciting opportunity to be a part of this nice event with you. Is my voice clear?
Yeah, it is clear.
Okay, I want to start in the beginning to thank Stempedia for this great event. They always do this gatherings and podcasts and webinars in order to educate people about the best technologies and the best practices of 21st century that apply to schools everywhere in the world, not only in Asia or Africa, but it goes all around the world. And this will help schools and will help the generations to be prepared for the future in a better way. Let me just fix my presentation. You can share it or I can share it, Vivek.
Yeah, you can share it.
I can share. Okay, give me 1 minute to do that.
So by the time Miss Rania is setting up for her presentation, Miss Zara, are you still here? So we have few questions that we will be asking our experts at the end. I have noted down the questions, but I would like you to know that, as I mentioned in the starting, please stay with us by the end of the session because there is something exciting that I will be announcing right after Miss Rania is done with her presentation.
I have shared the presentation.
It's visible.
Everything is okay. Yeah. So when we talk about the impact of technology in success for schools and how this motivate schools and decision makers in schools, educators, learners, parents, maybe also, to shape better system and make wiser choices when it comes to the process of education. We are talking about the role of STEM education and the role of technology inside the classrooms and how this will support the educational process for each individual and for the development of the society. And here I am biased a little bit to STEM education as a director of a STEM school, and our schools is the first formal STEM education-based school here in Saudi Arabia, specifically here in Riyadh. And this have shown a great impact, not only in the educational system that we are following, but also in the ability of students to think in a different way, to participate on activities that are designed especially to suit this kind of education and this kind of system. And as you know that, in the journey toward our success, and I would like to tell everybody how did we make it, and how actually changing from a normal school to a smart school have changed the mindset of the whole community of educators and learners and parents and trust of board of trustees and owner even of the school. And this movement have also inspired other schools in the neighborhood and Riyadh and other cities of Saudi Arabia, even across the Arab world and maybe across the world also, because we are participating in many international competitions and many programs like sister schools worldwide. So this have been a great motivation to everybody working inside, outside the school to look for new ways of technology and smart ways to teach, to inspire. How can digital, movement inside the school system, starting with the smart boards, starting with using the tablets, starting with adding robotics and coding classes to the schedule of the students, making a fab lab, making a lab for the robotics, a special lab for the capstone projects, provided with all the materials student needed in order to achieve the things they want to achieve. The success actually basically depends on the work of everybody inside the school. But the work is not an ordinary teamwork. The work towards success is the collaborative work, the work on progress, to learn more about what is the best practices they can do. How can they improve the digital environment? How can they improve the use of digital devices? How can they use technology in order to convey information? And how could the artificial intelligence and the machine learning used to customize the process of learning for students? So we have used many tools such as machine in the AI in order to make the students understand how to use the AI inside the educational process, how to use it safely and wisely, and how to gain benefit from this important tool, to get the books, the textbook, and the curriculum itself customized to meet the differentiation and the different levels of the student. And this is what is the success of using technology is about. Technology is, by the end of the road, it's a device. Some people, they can use it in a good way. Other people, they can be attached to it. We use it not wisely. But for STEM educators and for STEM learners, they know how to use it in a good way for sure, the school has a policy of using special policy that use for using technical devices, a special policy for monitoring the coding and robotics and textbooks and applications, and a special policy for how many hours they should take, the students in what age, and a special policy also governing the specific timing for each competition, and the rules for joining and the training camps, and all these things. But it also accompanied with many campaigns, awareness campaigns about technology and how this era is, about being educated, how to use the technology, how to control the use of technology, not only inside the classroom, but also in the house, because this is extended objective and extended advantage. I would like to talk also about one important thing that I pointed to before, which is the way we apply technology inside the school. Firstly, we make integration of artificial intelligence, robotic, in order to foster the deeper understanding of critical thinking, and the student engagement will be taken to a higher level. Also, we use the data analytics, trend comparative data, and also in order to bring support for each student. And this has a lot to do with the artificial intelligence. And because we use this tool in order to personalize the instruction. For example, if one student is struggling in one area, we could the program we are applying can decrease the level of questions to meet the students until they hit the target. Then it will increase the level directly. So this has to do with the artificial intelligence. Also, we use collaborative efforts between educators, technologists, stakeholders. This drives the evolution of our initiatives, and we have many initiatives. One of the initiatives is the robotic camps. We had it today, and this camp is every Saturday. We run it every Saturday. It's about educating students, giving them extra time, because today, Saturday is a holiday in Saudi Arabia. It's a weekend. So we have many students who are joining this robo camp inside the school for free, and it is for 4 hours every Saturday, and they do a lot of exercises related to, in the morning, related to gymnastics, to just refresh them for half an hour. Then they are organized in 4 groups. Each group is taking care of one aspect of programming. So one group is doing Python, because they joined the school late, so they did not catch up the wave with the other with our older students who are already on the tide, And the other group, they are doing the C++. Others, they are doing PictoBlocks. So each group of them, they are doing one level or one language of programming. And with the great trainers we have, and a lot of supplies that school could provide for them. Also, they are educating them well about the best practices in coding, in robotics, and trying to build here and there. I asked them to join me for live streaming, but I don't think they can do it because of the camera in the lab, and some of them, maybe we have to gain the approval of the parents before we broadcast this, but it would be a great add to the webinar. So this is what I believe in, actually, as an educator for STEM. And I was a teacher one day, and I remember back then in 2008 when we started doing the projects inside the school. It was not very familiar here in Saudi Arabia. I used to be a teacher and extracurricular coordinator, career advisor in one of the biggest school here. And when I told my manager that I want to run project fair for not only science. She said, for science, okay. I said, no, not only science. I would like this fair to contain all the projects, integration projects for math, science. I want the students to think in a different way when they make the science project about volcano. I want them to think of colors. I want them to think of using everyday materials. I want them to think of design and art. I want them to think of mathematics. And then she told me that you can do this. And from that point, 2008, we started to think differently. We started to think, why don't we plan everything according to this? And after 2 years, when the technology just started to boom, like come to our houses and everywhere. So we were doing a lot of, not robotics, but PowerPoints and stuff like that, and start to ask the students to design and to search and to bring reports. So I think from that year back in 15 years ago until now, we have made a lot of progress, and we have unfolded the potential and the future impact of technology inside the classrooms and inside the education system. There are many benefits for using the technology, and I think I have summarized them back in my speech, but I would like to add more. It makes the information easy to access. And this is not only for the students, again, because the students, it's actually easier for them to access information when it's digital, because they can access the information from their mobiles, from the tablets, from the home, even if they are traveling abroad. But also it's easier for the system itself to have the information documented on platforms, and to have all the resources of information documented, the reports, and so that everyone knows what's going on and when to interfere. Also, the interactive learning, as I said, they engage with learning materials, the interactive multimedia, and the ongoing integration of technology in education is anticipated to persist, promising to revolutionize the landscape of teaching and learning even further. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, automation are poised to assume increasingly prominent roles, presenting both new possibilities for educational institution as they adjust to have the requirements of forthcoming cohort. In essence, technology, robotics are spreading the transformation of schools, facilitating the adoption. What I like mostly about this part is using the robotics. It give us a unified language across the world. So using the coding give us unified language. So for example, me and Vivek, Sejal, and Ayush, and all those people, we never met before unless we have met on the Codever stream and the competition and in the language, let's say, of robotics and programming, and it make us we talk the same language, we understand the same worries, and we care for the same objectives, and we are looking for the same development. So this is what is using the technology in a way or another. They said it makes the world a small village. I said it unifies the world, actually, because most educators who use technology and technical devices, who are in the field of robotics and the programming, they understand each other. They think in the same way. And even the students, when they go to competitions, they carry the same languages, and they talk the same language, sorry, and they carry the same ideas. They are thinking in the creative way we are looking for, and they are trained to think how to solve the problems, how to be curious, to find different solutions from each other, how to be innovative in creating best decision making, and also how to improve their research skills. Actually, exploration, collaboration, and creativity and integration, resource access, these are the basic keys that smart schools should have in order to improve themselves. And I advise each decision maker in any school to start. If you didn't start before, you should start now. It's not too late. Start and change your school to be a smart school. This is the best thing you can do for those young generation, to make them talk the language everybody talks in the world, to make them educate themselves and programming and coding. Adding this facility, this lab, this place, this maker space in your school maybe will cost you little money, but it will benefit these students, and it will improve their education miles and miles ahead. It will benefit your school if you are running a private school. Also, it's good to your business, and it will promote your school better in the competition and in the market of schools worldwide. And so the future is STEM, and the future is technology. And if you don't swim with the tide, you will be many, many tides behind. And this is very, يعني, very bad for you and for your business if you are talking business, and very bad for your students if you're talking academics. Thank you for this nice morning, and I'm willing to answer all the questions other in the break time, and any collaborations. I am also open to any collaborations with my school. Thank you very much for your listening.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Actually, it was very nice to hear from you. We have heard a lot, of your expertise, of the knowledge that you carry, and the skillfulness that is showcased in the presentation. It actually is very exciting and insightful to all our audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you once again. Moving next, I'd like you to you know meet our expert guest speaker, Mr. Dave. Mr. Dave is a passionate STEM education enthusiast with an extensive business expertise across sales, marketing, supply chain management, and information technology. His keen interest lies in collaborative projects aimed at streamlining information flow across enterprises. His technical proficiencies include fluency in various .NET dialects, SQL, CSS, HTML, VBA, VBS script, and JavaScript. We welcome you, sir. Over to you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Vivek. That was very generous. I appreciate that. Rania, that was a great, great presentation. I really enjoyed it. So let me share my screen here. Well, when you hear from me, you'll hear a little bit different. I'm not a professional educator. I'm a IT professional. At least I was until earlier this year. I retired. I have a bachelor's in software engineering and an MBA, 15 years as a professional developer, and 5 years as an IT project manager, but 5 years as an informal educator. An informal educator in the United States is someone who may work in a museum, may work in a science center, but they're not a certified teacher. They're just maybe a person with particular expertise. So my wife is a professional educator. She retired several years ago when we moved to this area, and she began writing STEM curriculum. That was back in 2016. And I'm just the sort of person that couldn't stay out of her business. And so I assisted her on a lot of those lessons. But one thing that we discovered was we didn't have any students to test on. So we started a little club in our basement. And it wasn't a school. All it was a little group of families that would meet once a week, and we were writing lessons, and they would come and test them. And we did all sorts of STEM projects, but there was nothing electronic about it. This was about as electronic as anything that we built. A little electric we called it the battery buggy. But all of our projects were project-based STEM, and you heard about that earlier. Our projects didn't really fit in the classroom. And they would take maybe somewhere between 6 and 18 hours for a project. So it was something that fit better with an after-school program or a science club. And we were doing that until COVID came. And then people couldn't come to the basement anymore. So being a programmer, we just pivoted and we taught Scratch coding online. And it was the same group of people, only it grew because we no longer had the constraints of the basement. So we had, I think our biggest cohort was 18 children. And we actually had to recruit a high schooler to help us manage the breakout room. And that was when we discovered that the students that we were working with were very unfamiliar with modern technology. I mean, they were users. They used tablets and iPhones and all that sort of thing, but they didn't know anything about the other side of the screen. Well, I was interested in coding and I was good at it, but I was not interested in robotics until someone bought one of these kits and sent it to my house. Like I said, I wasn't interested. I had no expertise and no familiarity, but I started to mess around with it. And this was the STEMpedia eVibe kit. And I worked with my grandson,
Sorry to
and we,
interrupt here. Are you sharing your screen because it's not visible to us?
oh, I apologize. Let's try it again. Oh, well, it looks like I'm sharing it.
Yeah, now
Can
it's
you
visible.
see?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much. You should have stopped me sooner, Vivek.
I
I
thought you
would
were just, sharing your experience.
I was watching you in a YouTube the other day, and you weren't sharing your screen either. So yes. All right. So this is the little eVibe that got sent to my house, and this is actually a photograph I took on the very first day when I was trying to make a servo work. Well, we worked on that for a little bit, and by the time the holidays came, I reached out to the families that we were working with that we'd been teaching coding to, and I said, hey, if you buy one of these kits, we can learn robotics together. And so we spent the whole rest of the spring learning robotics on Zoom meetings. And we went through the entire LMS that STEMpedia had set up for the eVibe. And if you're a decision maker and you're looking for a platform, a technology platform, a robotics platform, there's lots and lots of them out there. But the STEMpedia support in terms of their LMS made a terrific difference for us. I worked with a couple of different kits that people were interested in. And what happened with the child was they would build the thing, then they would download some program, they would put it in it, and they would not understand what was going inside that device any more than they understood what was going on inside their tablet. The STEMpedia LMS helped us to understand every single thing that was going on inside of our eVibe. So when we started meeting together, we didn't have any more lessons to do because we finished the LMS. So we started making our own lessons, and we had a lot of fun with the eVibe. It's a terrific Android-based or Arduino-based appliance, and we extended it and made all kinds of projects: balloon battle bots and smart houses and locking safe treasure boxes and all kinds of stuff. And it was really a great experience for the kids and for us. Some of those kids now are halfway through middle school, and they're technology leaders in their classrooms. Well, the next project that we embarked on as our little basement group was Quirky, and we were by that time we were teaching coding in our basement. We weren't doing it online anymore, but every 2 or 3 lessons that we did, we would bring the Quirky in. We weren't teaching the Quirky. All we were doing with it is basically using it to illustrate that they could do more with their scratch coding than just make a little cartoon on the screen. And so we were using the Quirky just to illustrate to them that they could actually control a physical object with their code. And it soon became clear to us that the children we were working with had no exposure to it at all. So we formed a little nonprofit at the beginning of this year, or 2023. We reached out to Stempedia, set up a partnership, and bought a bunch of kids. 2 crazy old people in their basement. And that's really the start of our journey. We formed a small nonprofit. We got grants from the local community. We started having access to places where we could teach other than the basement. I like to say that we busted out of the basement. But everywhere where we taught, when we were teaching coding classes, we would always put the Quirky in there just so the students understood that there was more to it than just making a little cartoon in on their screen. We were invited to have a robotics workshop at a library, and we had our 12 computers and our 12 Evive kits, and we felt like we were perfectly equipped to go in there and show people what a little robotics kit could do. And the room was filled. We had 24 people, most of them girls. So if you're thinking about starting a program like this, I know Rania said if you haven't started, you're behind. Well, if you're thinking about it, I would sincerely recommend that don't be afraid to start small. We started small. And here we got into this room, and we didn't even have enough for everybody to have their own device. So they had to double up on the computers. So we got invited back, and now we're doing a whole series in the library this year. We're doing a 4-event series of STEM engineering, a 4-event series of coding, and a 4-event series of robotics. And when we put up the Eventbrite invitation to have people register for the robotics, it was the first one filled, sold out. So we've gotten another sponsor who's going to help us get more equipment. But what I'm seeing is there's a terrific opportunity with our students. And I don't know, maybe it's different in other countries, but here in the United States, there are plenty of school districts that just don't have this kind of capability. And if you're an informal educator, this is a great time. But if you're an educator, this is a great time. The students you're working with deserve a shot at the future. And this technology and the education that you can bring to them can absolutely change their lives. And we're seeing it already in the students that we've been working with. Well, I wouldn't be a good IT person without giving you a pro tip. So here's my first pro tip. Don't be afraid to start small. Don't despise small beginnings. We started in the basement. Now we're doing seminars at the library, and we're doing summer camps this summer. And we never would have imagined that we would be doing this, but we're doing it because there's a need, and because God's given us the opportunity, and because there's just a bunch of great kids out there that love to learn. And my second pro tip, if you can't start big, start small, and then just iterate. This is the engineering design process. This is what I used at work for 20 years. Ask, imagine, plan, create, test, improve, share. It's a cycle. Engineering is cyclical. It's iterative. You start small, you go around, you find out what works. You go around again, you find out what the students are interested in. You go around again, you see what the parents are interested in, and you don't have to make as big of a commitment, and you know exactly where you're going. So don't be afraid to start small. Keep iterating until you're ready to celebrate with your students. We're celebrating the success that our kids are having right now. Kids that honestly didn't have a shot. They were in little country schools. They never would have gotten to learn robotics. And now they're ready to step into high school and they can join FIRST robotics teams because of the work that we did. Here's my bonus pro tip. Connect to other educators. We go to the STEMpedia boot camp every summer, and we connect with other educators, and they're all better than us. So we have a lot to learn. But I would encourage you to get involved and network with the folks that are speaking today, and network with the people that you meet at the STEMpedia boot camp. They are great people, and they will help. Like Rania said, they will help you. Well, thank you very much for listening to my story. I know it's not like the others, but the difference that we all are making is priceless. Someday a student will thank you for the work that you did now when it seemed like it was crazy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Dave, sir. Actually, this was very, very insightful, and it motivated me also, to be very honest with you. And I feel like sharing your journey with everyone, and everyone has literally loved it. And I am seeing a lot of good comments in the chat box. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So moving ahead, I would like to welcome Ms. Ramaya Reddy, an experienced robotic facilitator and a master instructor with a proven track record in the e-learning industry. Holding a master's degree in mechatronics from Balanagar, she brings a wealth of knowledge into her role. She is skilled in various areas, including Microsoft Word, customer relationship management, presentation skill, employee training. With her strong educational background, she is dedicated to providing exceptional training and guidance in robotics and mechatronics. Welcome, ma'am. Over to you.
Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. After listening to Mr. Dev, I'm literally nervous to present my presentation, but fine, let's go. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ramya. As Mr. Vivek has just shared that I've completed my MTech in mechatronics. After completing my MTech, I was really enthusiastic in working in the field of robotics and 3D printing. At that time, 3D printing was not a subject where you can approach it so easily. Later on, in last 5 years in India, thanks to the pandemic, we started manufacturing things domestically. And the awareness for this people around technology field and the people in the field of STEM, they started showing interest and develop few different things where we can make things with 3D printers and all. And at that time, I met my present school, that is Chiruk International School, Hyderabad, where our management encourages all the teachers present in our school to come up with their own methodology for teaching without giving us any standard approach for it. So they provided us with the training. They gave us the options. What do we want to do? How do we want to develop our curriculum? And what are the projects that we want to work on? Then we started working on different projects. And then we already had a few faculty who were there, who were teaching 3D printing as well as robotics, who were of great help. And then we met STEMpedia, where thanks to the pick-to-block software, many of our students are learning machine learning and artificial intelligence at such a ease and they're exploring a lot of things. So let me go through the presentation. So this is my first time giving a webinar, so I might fumble a lot, so please excuse me. Yeah. Coming to, I was approached about this webinar yesterday, so my presentation is a bit less compared to Team's day. Coming to the technology, nowadays introducing technology in the classrooms is a necessity. It's not an option for us because the students are evolving. The students are not having the certain period of concentration span. For example, if a teacher is teaching about how is the blood flowing in our arteries, the student might not be able to visualize it. So what here we can take the help of different kind of visual technology tools, thanks to Khan Academy, where they are telling us how exactly the blood is flowing with the help of the 3D software and all. Recently, one of the students from our school, they tried to make a 3D printed heart where they were able to show it to the teacher how exactly is the blood flowing, how is the artery, how are the four chambers in the heart going on, what will happen if the artery and the vein, the blood is getting collided. So that was they were able to do it by themselves. So what exactly is our approaches? Whenever a teacher is teaching a topic, we try to give all the tools to students where they can explore about it. For example, if there is a topic called just now, I think I think it was Miss Zara. She was talking about life cycle of a butterfly, where if the students are learning about that particular thing in the science, they can take the help of tools like Scratch and Pictoblocks. They can make a story out of it, so that it is easy for them to understand. If there is any child who's not able to understand during the class, by understanding or looking at the story, they can understand. So here the technology comes into place. So coming to the first point, where the students are having a lot of exposure to the information across the internet, though the teacher is coming up with different areas, examples, she might not be able to satisfy a child from their perspective, as they might have already seen something similar to it on internet. Thanks to the development of all the tools, technology nowadays. So it becomes a challenge to the teacher or the educator who is teaching or introducing a topic. There comes a gamification type of teaching, where we can grab the attention of the child by telling them what they don't know. Let's start the topic with what they don't know and how exactly is it happening, and giving them examples with the real-time world examples, where whenever they're going around, and what is the new thing they're seeing in technology wise, and telling like that we can grab their attention. Coming to engagement and personalization, every child in a class is different. They might not be able to understand if the teacher is telling them any code. I'm a robotics teacher and a 3D printing facilitator. So when we approach a topic, we generally show what is the output model. And then we start how exactly we start with the questions. How are we going to make this output model? Then the child will come up with different ideas. I don't want to do. The first answer is, I don't want to do. I'm not interested in learning robotics and 3D printing. I want to become a doctor. Please tell me how is robotics and 3D printing related to me? So we need to once the question is coming, we are on point blank, we might not get an answer. The other child answers. In if you want to become a doctor, nowadays we are having these robotic surgical robots where they are used. The doctor also needs to understand about the technology. They need to understand how the software goes. If you want to talk to a patient and make the patient understand how exactly is the operation getting performed, if how exactly the process goes, you need to understand about the technology and the process about it. So it is not only related to a certain field. Each and every person around us need to understand what exactly are the advances in technology. Again, the enhanced collaboration is where across different subjects, our school generally believes in a whole child development. So whenever we are teaching any topic to the student, we generally expect at the end of each topic, there is something called as project-based learning. So teachers come up with a project where the child has to display about that topic. They need to come up with a small presentation about the topic where they need to share. It's a group work where they collaborate, put each and every point of view on the table, and they make a small presentation and they act it out. So with the help of technology, thanks to all the collaboration tools like Zoom that we are using right now, during the pandemic era where we had online classes, we had to use Teams. So let me share this experience. So when I joined during the pandemic as a robotics teacher. But during the pandemic, because being online, it was too sudden, where we were supposed to take school online. So we were not able to understand how to approach robotics as a subject, as even 3D printing, be it how to teach the students, because even the basic subjects like English, math, we were trying to shift from the offline version to the online version. So the first year of the pandemic, we were not able to continue with the robotics. The second year, because we could see there's a lag between the education system, and the students were not able to listen the whole theory subject for whole 4 to 5 hours of online school. So there needs to be some activity or some brainstorming session like robotics. So we tried to introduce it for the online version. So we were suffering what to teach online robotics. So then we came across this platform called Tinkercad, where it allows us to teach both 3D designing as well as with the help of the circuits, we can understand students how to connect microbit, how to connect different circuits, what exactly happens when a LED glows, and what is the amount of voltage that LED requires, and all. So our students try to explore them online during the online era. After that, they were like, "Ma'am, when can I come to school? I want to try it out." Then we had hybrid school where some of the students were coming to the school. Then we introduced them with the Quarky Kids. So they were just learning about artificial intelligence in the ICT curriculum. They were learning it as a subject and also trying to make small apps using the MIT App Inventor, but they were not able to test it with on the hardware. Quarky and PictoBlocks made it easy, where the students were trying to develop machine learning models in such ease with the help of block-based coding. Nowadays, initially we followed the LMS which Mr. Dev shared, set the example of. This PictoBlocks has shared LMS where using those examples we used to teach our students based on those particular experiments. Later on, our students start coming up with ideas. They share different type of ideas. They used to download the software at their home. They made few models, and then we were inspired from the students, where it was a challenge for them what to do next in the next class. So with the help of this, we were able to see that our students are not limited to the classroom. We can't teach them, we can't limit them with certain examples. We need to push our boundaries as a teacher and innovate. So we were striving to find out new ways. Then we were not able to see how we can make our students display their models. We were so confident that our students can do anything. But then again, I'm sorry to say that I'm taking a lot of examples for STEMpedia, but then again, thanks to STEMpedia, there was a competition called Codeva during that hybrid era. That was the first competition we came across. So a few of our students participated in that competition. Thankfully, it was an online competition where we just need to make a video and submit it online. Many of our students came with different examples. We were able to see, then we understood what exactly is the role of the competitions for the students. They are able to do a lot of things, but they are not able to express, so that they're not able to see what exactly they are able to learn, and even for the parents to understand what is a child learning in the school. So let me share what exactly do we teach in our school, and how do we take it up. So coming to our school, we basically teach robotics and 3D printing from class 1 to class 8. So starting from class 8, as I said, our school believes in whole child development. We start with small hands-on building, like using motor skills, where the child will understand how to build a certain shape. We just display a shape. We show them how what are the connectors needs to be used and how exactly it goes. And just looking at the picture, they start building. You will be really amazed, the stage 1 and stage 2 students making different models. They recently, in one of the classes, they even completed different mathematical shapes just by looking at the figure. So that is one of the things that we try to implement in our models. Next, coming 3D designing. So as a part of the curriculum, not only we teach ICT computers coding, we also teach 3D designing. So 3D designing is where we take the help of 3D pen for students of age group class 2 and class 3, because they need to understand what exactly is going on between the 2D shapes and the 3D shape, how exactly it is getting manufactured, how exactly are we going to make a certain model. So again, there again we use different concepts how to make different. We start with how to trace 2D models with the help of the tracer, and then we ask them to develop 3D models by attaching two 2D shapes together. Coming to electronics, now this is for the a bit higher grades, because still stage 3 or class 3 students are not having that much of a how do I put it? They don't get attracted to electronics as much of the students from stage 4 upwards. What I'm trying to say here is I do understand we do have microbit and the Quarky, which makes our life simpler and for students to understand. But still, it makes the student, though to grab the student's attention for 40 minutes of time period, it's too limited. So from stage 4 upwards, we take the help of kids, we take the help of the electronics, where we teach them how exactly is the closed circuit goes, how exactly is the open circuit goes. So we design our curriculum in such a way, if the student is learning about magnetism in their subject science, we relate something in the robotics as well as 3D printing, so that the students is able to understand it as a theory. They're doing a project in the science class, but also they're able to implement it in their robotics and 3D designing class. So it makes easier for them to understand the concept, and they're not forgetting it. They don't need to read it again and again, because they're experiencing the whole process. How exactly is the magnetism going? What are the different type of materials? If they're learning about something called as conductivity of materials, we take the help of crocodile clips. We take different materials, paper, and tell them how exactly is the circuit going? Is the electricity flowing or not? By this, the student will experience the process. They understand what exactly is each and every concept going. How are we able to relate it to it? How are we using it in a real life? Then again, 3D printing, basics of designing. So from class 4 upwards, we introduce them how are we designing different models with the help online, with the help of again Tinkercad website, or we also have different website platforms around Blender, LeoCAD. So right now we are using Tinkercad in our school, where using which we try to teach students different designing concepts. How are we designing the different models? If you can see in the picture, there is a rocket model where the students just assemble, align, and group it, merged together. Recently, in one of the stage 5 classes, the students just completed a small toy. Look, if you will be literally amazed. I'm not saying this as a teacher who has taught them about the concept, but the students, just by looking at the picture, they can understand what are the shapes being used and how exactly are we placing the model together. So this is how they understand about the 3D printing and basics of designing, as well as coming to Quarky. Now, we are using Quarky as a kit, though we are also having another robotics kit in our school. Using Quarky being a bit similar to the Scratch, which they are learning as a part of their computer curriculum, picture blocks, and also using machine learning, artificial intelligence. They also recently added ChatGPT as an extension into picture blocks. the PictoBlocks is upgrading itself, which is making our life as a STEM educator or a technology enthusiast to teach students in an easier way, because they're able to, they don't need a teacher to tell them what extension needs to be added for a certain experiment. They themselves, when they come to the robotics lab, I mentioned what exactly is the project that we're going to do today. They go to the PictoBlocks, they open the PictoBlock software, they add the extensions, they understand, they try to explore each and everything. So we give them an opportunity by giving we guide them. Basically, they explore themselves. So mostly our class goes in a student driven way, where they understand what is expected of them, they try to complete the task, and at the end of the term, we try to grade the students based on how exactly the project is going, how innovative it is, how different is it from the other project, how different is it from the thing which the teacher is expecting it to be do. Then we are also taking the help of another kit where we make apps using MIT App Inventor and try to control different hardware devices. Many of recently in our school is having two curricula, CBSE and CIE. For CBSE curricula, they just had a robotics exhibition where many of the students made different apps using which we were able to control different things, and students came up with innovative applications where they were able to understand, just by looking at the face of the person, we are able to say, is the person happy or sad. If they were saying that they want to implement the same thing in their class as well, using which the teachers are able to understand what exactly is the psychology of the student in case of any thing. So this is one of the things that we are doing. Again, AI, Python, and electronics. We do take the help of Python, not only block-based coding, we teach them Python. So coming to Python, not every child understand the syntax language, how the Python goes. When it is block-based coding, because they are a bit colorful and they're easy to understand, it's simple English, they are able to understand it and they explore it. They show interest. When it comes to Python, initially we did face few problems to make them understand, because when we teach Python as a language and Python in PictoBlocks interface is a bit different. I hope if you have done any project using Python and PictoBlocks platforms, you might know it. So initially, students were like, "Ma'am, we want to go back to block-based coding. We are not understanding anything. Python is really difficult for us to do. The projects are not getting executed and all." Then later, we came up with a solution where if they are completing the project using Python, we will try to give them some Quarky. We will try to give them Quarky for 15 to 20 minutes of time extra. You can explore whatever you want using Quarky. Then in order to use Quarky or any other robotics kit, they started showing interest in understanding Python. By the end of the day, end of the term, in fact, they were able to do Python programs by themselves. So generally, when we talk about Python, we are introducing Python for stage 8, because they learn in Python in their computers, and as a subject, they do write programs, practicals and all using computers, but they're not able to implement Python programming on hardware. They're not able to see it. They're not having hands-on learning. So with the help of PictoBlocks, we are able to teach Python and implement the same thing on the Quarky, using which they're understanding the relation. Why did we learn it in theory? What happened in between? In practicals, what they learned, how exactly is a Python in the computers they learned is different from the Python they're using here. How exactly is it getting implemented in a hardware? So they're able to relate, differentiate, and understand the importance of the whole language. This is about Python. And so coming to technology in library, this is called a story box, which it's there in our library, in our school. where if you are selecting any certain subject book or something, if you're searching for author or something, automatically it dispenses you a paper where something about the author is written. If you want to find out something about a subject, automatically that particular subject related thing will be coming out of the story box. So which actually makes students think and understand what exactly is the use of coding, robotics, and how exactly the integration is happening. Some of our students are trying to develop something similar to this. Now, though this is not made by our students, our in school students in-house team is working on it, where they are thinking of making a 3D printed box, along with which we are trying to develop few electronic circuitry where we can dispense out paper. Coming to C-Hub, so basically, not only we teach robotics and 3D printing as a part of a curriculum, but also our school encourages students to come up with innovative ideas, where we are using a term called C-Hub, where every year, annually, we send out applications where we ask students to send their ideas regarding anything, irrespective of team size, irrespective of the amount they're thinking. Our school basically funds the projects. So in C-Hub, recently we have developed a lot of projects like robot, where the boat, it's a boat, but it's also a robot which is moving in the lake and also collecting the dust. Let me show you a video. Yeah. So basically, this robot was initially fabricated by our students. They made a 3D model using the CAD software. They started understanding how exactly what are the motors that needs to be required. Though the teachers are there to guide them, but the idea has come from the students, how exactly it goes. Then we took the students to a nearby lake where the students were able to test out the actual working model. So this is one of the projects in C-Hub. There's another project called Solani, where the students were able to come up with the idea where army people, whenever they're going outskirts, they are not able to they don't have signal. They might not even have battery to keep them warm. So they can take the help of Solani, where there is a crankshaft mechanism. Whenever we are rotating, certain amount of electricity is generated, which is enough for the jacket to heat up. So this is one of the project. After the project is developed, we have taken them to the nearby military base, where they were able to test it with the military commando. And there is another project called Power Tile, where whenever we are stepping on a certain device, it is generating electricity using where it is converting mechanical energy to electrical energy. This is one of the student-made projects in our C-Hub. There is a safe hands model where if you can see, there is a device. This case is printed with the help of the 3D printer in our school, where we have taken the help of the gyro sensor. When it is for a pregnant woman, whenever a pregnant woman, if she is moving around, depending on sudden movement, it is going to generate a sudden, create SMS, which is going to the nearby ambulance as well as the guardian, so that it is alarming the person that the pregnant woman is in danger. So this is one of the project. We had Medizi, where it's basically a medicine dispenser for old age people. It is also fabricated by our students and developed by the students as well. And coming to not only the C-Hub, where the school is encouraging the students to come up with innovative ideas, a school also encourages students to come up with their own club, where these students of the senior sections from grade 9th and upwards start creating a club, where they encourage all the students from grade 6 to grade 9 to come up, join the clubs, where recently one of the student from stage 9, class 9, They started a club in 3D printing, 3D printers, 3D designing, where they started from how exactly the 3D printer goes, what exactly are the parts in the 3D printer, what are the motors they are using, how are they constructing. They disassembled everything and they again assembled it. They were able to understand what is the temperature in the 3D printer, why do we need a certain temperature for the hotbed, why is the temperature of the nozzle needs to be 200, what is the kind of filament that is fed to the 3D printer. All these were planned as a curriculum and executed by the students of stage 9. So this is one of the student-led clubs. There is another club which is going in our school, that is Makers Innovators Club. It's a collaboration between the 3D printing and robotics. So basically, if you can see, there is a robot here. It's an auto robot. You might, any electronics enthusiast might recognize it. So basically, it's 3D printed. So this club is about designing the whole product. So we started with designing using the software. We took the help of the sensors, electronics, and all. We made the whole auto work. So this is this particular club is for classes 5 to class 8. So there's at least 60 students right now in our school who have completed this auto, and they are working on their presentation, which is going to happen on Feb 15th. So this is one of the product, and I also want to share a video. I've spoken a lot. I just want to show you the output in students' term. And this is this final. I'm not going to take much time. Thank you.
Tejas Kalluri.
And we're here to give you a glimpse of our project Shipio at Panama World Robotics 2023.
So, how did we qualify for this? We have placed first nationally in Delhi, and then we have been invited to the International Robotics Olympiad held in Panama, which was attended by over 90 countries.
Nationals wasn't the only place where we began our journey. Regionals was the place where we truly started creating our project, making prototypes, and seeing how it would work out in the end. Our project is titled Shipio, and what it does is basically a way to help maintain deep sea cables or submarine cables, which are a very vital component to us on a daily basis. We've created such a project so that the RFID tags placed on the deep sea cable help determine whether a deep sea cable is placed under deep water or not.
And we have also enhanced our project by adding something that actually warns and alerts the authorities or the registered phone numbers about the cable being broken by itself, so that it can be fixed immediately.
We've received the 20th position worldwide. We're so happy about this.
So this is about the presentation and our school. Though it might look that I'm bragging about my students, but yeah, we are proud of them and the way they are working. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Actually, it was one of the best one, and I have to say that you nailed it in this webinar because it was very nice to see how exactly your school and you are working towards, asking like providing this technology to the students, and asking them to innovate something new and empowering them to learn these latest technological skills, not just coding and robotics, but as I was able to see, but also use these concepts in other subject matters also. So one of the thing that I have noted down that you mentioned was introducing tech right now is a necessity, not an option. So that was one of the major learning. So thank you so much for sharing your expertise. Thank you so much. We really did enjoy it. It was a unique one. And we love that there were so many projects and a lot were very exciting. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Moving ahead, I would like to call upon Mr. Swapnil from STEMpedia. So as we journey through this technological evolution, it is essential to acknowledge the pivotal role of STEMpedia. So STEMpedia is actively engaging in transforming technology, playing a vital part in shaping future of education. The innovative approaches and resources provided by STEMpedia contribute significantly to the dynamic landscape of high-tech growth in schools. Over to you, Swapnil sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vivek. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. And firstly, I would like to congratulate all the educators and speakers today. It was a wonderful session to see, not only in a certain geography all across the globe, how the innovations are being driven, whether it is through schools, as Ramya ma'am shared, right, or it is through offline science centers like Cool Cat Science. Again, Dave and I, we have been in touch for a good more than a year now, honestly. Then, of course, with Zara ma'am as well, initiating the discussion around how it is being shaped up into her geography. And then also, Rabia ma'am shared how it is being done in the Saudi Arabia. So a warm welcome to all of you. And I'd just like to say that, all the content that we have seen today, I think the least interesting one would be mine. So because yeah, if some of you know, STEMpedia has been there, supporting all our partners, all our well-wishers for a long period of time. And sometimes, we are also not able to see the kind of output that has been created by the students and the teachers based on the platforms, right? Let's say whether it is Pictoblocks, whether it is Quadkey, whether it is Codever. You must have heard all these three terms a lot today. There will be slight repeat today in my presentation as well, but I'll try to keep it very quick. Um, Vivek, I'd like to share my screen. I hope that is okay.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay, great. Yeah, awesome. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Um, To start off with, I want to focus on something by the name of national education policy, which is actually very common across the globe. It's a concept in its entirety, and part of it is something that Stempedia is really looking up to. There are three aspects that we want to focus on. One is the concept of experiential learning. As Ramya ma'am shared, when her students were doing the Python, earlier, it was not that interesting because there was no activities. So when you make it experiential, it makes it more interesting for our students, just to summarize, right? Then second is the interdisciplinary education. So no longer you can only say, hey, I'm learning coding, I'm learning AI, I'm learning robotics. It has to be connected with the science, with the technology, with the engineering, as they've shared, right? With the mathematics that the students are learning, with the physics that they are learning. When there is an interconnectedness between these subjects, it makes it more relevant and exciting for students to see the application and also conceptualize it. Right. And then third, and actually something that is very critical to our mission, is not only the activity based learning, not only the interdisciplinary learning, but actually having a societal learning, a very holistic learning in terms of how we can portray our tradition, our values in the best way possible. So I'd like to share some of the stories moving forward. But what we mean here is that, see, all of us are seeing that the current generation is growing rapidly. Right? A very good example is mobile phones. I love to use this example because when I was a child, when I believe no, a lot of us were a child, mobile was not a thing. Even 10 years ago, if you remember, it was just the start of that Samsung Galaxy phone that used to come. That is what I could relate to. But then there's that Nokia phone, like the one that was very popular. But then now, if you look at our child, they are able to take up mobile phones very easily. And the reason for it, one reason that I believe is very important, is that technology reduces the cost of making mistakes. If you are writing something on a notepad and you are making a error, you'll have to cut it down and do everything. But then with technology, with let's say Microsoft Word, if you're writing a letter, you write something which is incorrect, you just press a backspace and then it's done, right? So it makes it very easy. But then that is why, in even in the aspect of societal learning, this adds a lot of value. Because if we look at the traditions and the values that were there in the previous generations, if we want to, if we don't make those tradition and values as well future ready, right? If we don't put the execution of these technologies or these traditions in the same pedestal, I think it will be a big challenge for the younger generation to accept them, right? So that is also something that we focus quite a lot on. And in terms of the outcome that you can expect out of the program that we cover, whether it is PictoBlocks, Quarky, Codever, it follows the same thought that, as Ramya ma'am shared, there is always an ideation and creation of the student who are avid users of our technologies. They definitely learn 21st century skills, whether it is creativity, whether it is critical thinking, whether it is communication, collaboration, and more. There is definitely interdisciplinary STEAM learning that we promote through our programs and activities. There is definitely an entrepreneurial mindset that gets built into our students when they are going through our programs. And finally, the concept of empathy and life skills, as I shared, is something that is very pivotal to our program. So I want to showcase a very small video to all of you. This video is of the Little Scholar High School in Kamareddy, who is celebrating Batukamma and Dashera festivals, which are very popular in the region. So I just want to showcase their take on the celebration, and let us then see what they are doing.
దాటిపోకమ్మో గంగీయుగాలి కమలమ్మ గంగా దాటిపోకమ్మో గంగీయుగాలి కమలమ్మ.
So what we could see was a very interesting celebration of the Shara and Batukamma using the coding AI robotics that students are learning. And that is the kind of examples, again, as I shared, Ramya ma'am has shared in numerous examples on that. So this is just one of our partner schools who have been doing this kind of an execution. Next, I also want to showcase from the same school, they have also taken up the same hardware, software, and everything to do a completely different kind of celebration. So let us look at the Independence Day celebration by the same school. Just 1 second.
ओ देश मेरे तू जीता रहे, तूने शेर के बच्चे पाले, एक लाल हुआ बलिदान तो क्या 100 लाल तेरे रखवाले हैं। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू तेरी नदी।
So again, a very different take on a very different festival. But what was common was the medium of expression being coding, artificial intelligence, and robotics. So this is how students are embracing our festivities, our traditions, into their own version, their own language. This becomes a language of expression for our students rather than being mere subjects, right? I also want to showcase a small robotics workshop that was taken up by the same school.
Boom, boom, robo-ride, robo-ride, robo-ride. Zoom, zoom, robo-ride, robo-ride, robo-ride. Boom, boom, robo-ride, robo-ride, robo-ride. Zoom, zoom, robo-ride.
Right. So it might look like I'm promoting the Little Scholar High School. That is not the case. I just want to showcase to all of you that from the same ecosystem, there can be innumerous different kind of outputs that you can expect. Like the best example for that actually has already been given by Ramya ma'am with the Chirek International School. The kind of innovation that we have seen from Chirek International School coming in, and that was the first school that had interested us in our journey on promoting these kind of technologies into the school. So a big thank you to all our schools, but we believe this is the kind of output that a lot of schools will be able to see in their students once the program and the hands-on aspect of this program are being executed, right? One more example is of the National Public School here in Bangalore. Again, let us hear Mrs. Shija Manoj, the principal of National Public School Yashwantpur, with a brief feedback of our program.
It was a 3-day training program to empower our teachers to take up AI and robotics for our junior and middle school segment. So it was a good session. Let us see how effectively my teachers are going to carry forward this learning and utilize it in the classroom and make the learners, give them a different experience and enrich them with these programs.
So again, ma'am also tried to emphasize on the fact that this program is focused on improving your children, your students, from being a consumer of these technologies to being creators of the future, right? And that is also something that is very essential to our coding AI and robotics competition, which is currently live, going on at full swing all across the globe. We are seeing immense participation coming in from all the students, all the regions across the globe. So I just want to showcase, in the last year, what are the kind of projects students have built in Codever, which you can also expect, one day your students and your wards to be building, right?
Hello, my name is Aditi. For chili required pH value is 7. we pour the fertilizer. Now as you can see, when it was less than 60, it started irrigating, and when it reached above 60, then it stopped irrigating.
Hi everyone, I am Samiha Dararia.
Verification completed. Enjoy your ride.
My name's Banawat Kaliapishit. Let's get started. Okay. So once you drag the trash into the correct bin, you'll make this sound, and you'll get score. Once you drag the trash into the wrong bin, you'll make this sound.
I'm Yusuf Khaybati. Example: F, B, C, A.
I'm Priyanka Gopinathan, grade 5. He said we need to buy toothbrushes.
Why don't you check out bamboo brushes? Bamboo toothbrushes are a great eco-friendly option. It is biodegradable and uses less energy and resources to make.
Hello, my name is Shanay Mehta. Hello, my name is Victor Chanak.
6 and click order. The order has been placed.
Look, here it is. Order for 6 oranges.
I'm Samriddhi from India, and this is my robot, Sakhi. Say hi. High five, buddy.
The next feature is light
The
detection.
photoresistor detects the light, and when the power goes off, the lights turn on, and the power comes back, the lights go off.
Hello, my name is Fanny Teng. If I put the face of someone else into the AI, if I put the face of grandma into the AI, it recognizes her and allows her to take the medicine.
Hello everyone, my name is Arjun. I'm 11 years old. What are the best seeds to plant now? According to the season, the best seeds to plant now is basil, beans, brinjal, bell pepper, broccoli, etc. Plowing.
My name is Farahawat.
Hello, my name is Demis Bulpur. Good day, my name is Nasya Abidjaha. And my name is Razan Khalid Shpet. Then we're going to get the car out, and we only have 5 seconds. Hello, my name is Fatouat Zahra Naveed Ibrahim. Please, Mommy, I'm sleepy. Please, Mommy, I need to burn.
Right. So this was a brief portrayal of the kind of projects that our students have built last year in Codever. We are very, very enthusiastic about the competition, and we are looking forward that more of our viewers will be interested in this competition. Do let us know if you are interested over the feedback form that will be shared with you shortly. And then finally, just to cover about the Codever competition, right? It is not a competition that has been started right now. This is the 5th edition that we had, right? We are going to have now this year. Over the years, we have grown from only 500 to 1,000 participants to now more than 100,000 participants in just a span of 4 years. We are very proud of the partners that are supporting us throughout our journey. So right from Indian subcontinent to East Asia, to Middle East, to Africa, to US, to UK, to Europe, and to South America. We are very proud that we are there across all continents. And being a small family that STEMpedia is, it is only possible because of our partners and our school networks, right? And coming in finally is the story of Samriddhi. I am very, very proud of the efforts and the kind of hard work Samriddhi had put in each and every year. So why this story is important, you may ask? This story is important because this is the story of a child who has been trying each and every year to improve. When you give that innovation mindset to a child, they are able to take that innovation mindset, they are able to inculcate that mindset into their learning, and then they are able to deliver year after year. Now, let us look at Samriddhi's story, who was the runner-up in Codever 2020 and has been a winner of Codever in 2021 and 2022. We are very, very happy with her experience of Codever, but let me have her share her experience through this video.
Hello everyone, I'm Samriddhi. I secured the first runner-up position in 2020 and emerged as the winner for the next 2 successive years of Codavia 2021 and 2022. When I discovered Codavia online, I was instantly captivated by the opportunity to participate in a coding competition and showcase my skills to a broader audience. My Codavia journey has been incredible. From project inception to the final presentation, I was constantly challenged to think creatively, solve problems, and elevate my coding skills. It has been a transformative experience that has ignited my passion for coding. My family has been my greatest source of support throughout my Codavia journey.
Samruddhi has shown a keen interest in coding and robotics.
We want her to become an asset for society by using her knowledge to solve the social problems faced by the society. Wishing all the best to Samruddhi.
My teacher, Santosh sir, has been the driving force behind my achievement. I owe a great deal of my success to him.
Hi, I'm Santosh Kori, founder and managing director of ePark Research Center. Here we guide technical students in their research work. During this journey, I met Samruddhi Kori. She came up with an idea called Smile. Her way of approaching to the problems, coding skills and presentation skills are just amazing. I wish that she could be a second Kalpana Chawla for India.
This time, I created Saki, a versatile humanoid robot. Saki provides personalized care and support to Alzheimer patients. It assists individuals with visual impairments, ensures home security, and offers entertainment through music, jokes, companionship. It is a solution that addresses multiple needs with proficiency. Codavia was a life-changing experience that helped me find my passion and set a clear direction for my future career. I encourage all aspiring coders out there to participate in Codavia and unlock your true potential.
So thank you so much everyone for joining in for my talk. But do let us know, do contact us if this is something that ignites your interest, your students' interest. We are always open to organize not only webinars but also workshops, doing lab setups, doing more engaged activities, doing competition into the schools. So in the feedback form, do let us know. And thank you so much. Over to you, Vivek.
Thank you so much, Swapnil sir. Yeah. So I request all of you to please fill the feedback form. The link is already being shared in the chat box. With that, the QR code is there in front of the screen. So I hope you were able to understand how STEMpedia is working towards providing and bridging the gap of providing these latest technological skills to your students. So I hope you are excited, and I hope to see you all in Codever 5.0 International. So I request all of you to please take out time to fill the feedback form and give me a thumbs up if you're done with that, so that I can explain you the process by which you will be able to access your free AI and Python course provided by STEMpedia. And I hope you enjoyed this webinar. You had a lot of fun. You learned a lot, because I will be looking forward on LinkedIn to get tagged you can share your learnings, what you learned. And we will be happy if you can tag STEMpedia, our experts who joined us today and shared their expertise. All right, so let's take a look at how exactly you can access your AI Python course. So once you enter your correct email address in the email address option, so once you enter the correct email address, you will get an email from STEMpedia Learning Center with the course website link and password. So that is what you will get. You will get your username and password. With that, you will be getting the course link. So after that, once you visit the website, you have to enter that particular credentials that were provided in that email. And once upon that, you just need to click on login. So over here, as you can see, you just need to enter your username and password and then login, upon which you will be able to see the course being reflected in your My Course section. So that is how you will be able to access the STEMpedia AI Python course. With that, I would just like to inform you the feedback form is open till 14th of February 2024. So if you're watching this session recording, make sure you fill the feedback form before 14th of February and get access to your AI and Python course. Thank you so much for tuning in for this webinar. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you will be using these learnings into your classroom to make sure to empower the young minds and to help them to innovate through the latest technological skills. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to all the guests and the keynote speakers who joined us today. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.